Test. 1, 2, 3. Test. 1, 2, 3. Hey, is this thing on? There you are. Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Wick. I will be your tour guide for the 7th grade school year for social studies. And what we're looking at doing today is kind of walking you through the year, whether you're with me physically in class, whether you're at home virtually, however you're checking in, kind of the things we're going to cover and do this year in 7th grade social studies. Hopefully I'll have you all the way through, and hopefully you'll learn a couple things. Thanks. Let's get rolling. In 7th grade, social studies is split two ways. I know last year you did history most of the year. We incorporate history into everything we do, but our two ways are government, try and get 7th graders excited about that. We'll do that this year, and economics, also kind of a fun topic. We start the school year out probably in the second week as we get going after we get a few activities done with a small economic slice. We'll talk about the role of money. Money, 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 money. And we'll look at how we use it, what role banks play, what other financial institutions help us out. We'll hold off on credit and that till later in the year when the kids are a little further along. But we end the money unit with a look at the stock market. Why I bring that forward now is because we are going to invest in the stock market, fictional money, but we're going to invest in the stock market. We're going to track it all year long to see how well the kids do. Last year it was kind of a up and down, up and down, up and down. And with COVID at the end, we saw that kids were making a little bit of money, but some kids also lost $3,000-4,000 as well. But just as a chance, as another way to look forward to the future of what to do with their money. All right, and that'll take about the first 3 weeks of school as we get through that. From there, then we'll jump into government. We will look at the history of our government. We'll look at what our forefathers did. We'll look at the Articles of Confederation. We'll work our way through the Revolutionary War leading up to it. Just a few little stories on the Revolutionary War to give them some background. We'll look at the Declaration of Independence, which we like to hold up on July 4th, and we'll talk about what that was really about. Really, 32 paragraphs, 29 paragraphs of them were pretty well complaints to the king, just what they didn't like was going on with our country, and to say we want to be free of you. But we'll break that down a little bit. We'll get our way through the Revolutionary War. We'll talk about the roles some of the people played in the creation of our government. Then we'll get into the three branches: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. Depending on where we're at, we usually look at legislative and we create a law. I'm very proud of this. The last 2 years, my 7th grade kiddos, my last 2 years. 2 years ago, the kids who are now freshmen in high school, they got put in that 10-minute break that you had last year, that little break in the afternoon to kind of break up the day. I don't know if they wanted that long, but they wanted a little longer break between classes to breathe in the afternoon, which is kind of cool they got it. And then last year's kids, they fought hard to end the touchpad at lunch. And they got that put into the school rules. So we'll see if we're able to wander through the whole, it's going through a whole legislative process, which is really neat. The kids learn how legislators make laws. Usually I have a state representative, former student of mine, Cody Horlacher. He'll come in and talk to the kids. No guests this year, but Cody and I are going to work hopefully on something. I'll get him in virtually to spend some time with the kids, which would be cool because he answers questions quite well. From the legislative branch, we'll get to the executive branch. We'll talk about the roles that the president plays. We'll talk about the inevitable, the election coming up. We'll talk about how the president elected in the Electoral College. We don't get political with it at all. It's not the right place. We just talk about the way things are done. There's a great site called iCivics that I'll use along the way with the kids. I'll post some of that in Google Classroom for them. And then we'll get into the judicial branch, and we'll look at the Supreme Court, and we'll look at some Supreme Court cases. I'm always amazed when we get into Supreme Court cases, what cases the kids bring up. I learn so much new every year from what the kids give me. But those three branches of government, we'll get to that point, and then we'll come back and look at the amendments to the Constitution, what our forefathers meant when they put them in, what was going on historically at the time when they put them in, and from the Bill of Rights, we'll move into the other 17 for a total of 27 amendments. Remember that, 27 amendments, and how that rolls. Then we'll end the year getting into economics. Again, we'll look at the role of economics. We'll look at the role of money. We'll bring that back. We'll look at credit. We'll have the minimum wage debate. And depending on how timing goes, we have a few other activities that go in there with opportunity cost and a few other things. But one of the highlights of the year, we end the year with the kids getting jobs, getting a salary, breaking that down into creating a monthly budget and having to pay for housing, transportation, food, all the other fun stuff, their cell phones. And the kids find all the adjustments they have to make in their own personal budgets. That pretty well takes us through the 36 weeks of the school year. One thing you'll find out as we go, I email home probably every week to every other week telling you, one, what we've done, and two, what we're going to do. So you'll have both ways in the schedule. It also gives you a look at the Skyward grade so you can see how your child is doing throughout the year. My rule of thumb, and I'm putting it in the letter I send to you, is this. If you have a question or a concern about anything going on in the classroom, contact me right away. Let's talk about it. I mean, let's get things figured out. If your child is behind or they misunderstood something or you want to go over stuff, let's get it done. We'll figure it all out. My goal is to help your child be successful. Hopefully your goal is just to support that, and we go forward from there. Now the beauty is this. Here it is, 7th grade, and I've been doing this gig for 32, 33 years now. A lot of that here in East Troy, a lot of moms and dads, I had you in class. You know, all the balding jokes you might have made back when you were a kid have come true. Thank you very much. But again, I look forward to hearing from you as much as hopefully you look forward to hearing from me. Follow along as much as you can. I try and do a lot of the work right here in the classroom. If something happens and we go back to the COVID virtual learning, the homework is shorter. Understand the schedule this year is going to be one day they have me, the next day they don't. Right? We go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 now. And the classes are longer, so we'll get a lot more done in class. Hopefully that alleviates some of the homework. Again, I look forward to meeting all your kids. I've been practicing names. I've been going through the Skyward and seeing who I've got where and what we've got going. Hopefully, again, it'll be a fun year, be a good year, and I look forward to meeting you all, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.